Hi, I'm Kathleen Lugerich, and this is Army Game Day being held at the National Museum of the United States Army by the Army Historical Foundation.
And Gilbert, the traveling bear, is here too. Stay safe, be kind, be courteous, everyone. Thank you for watching.
Hello, Bill Molyneux here with Goober the Traveling Bear, and we were invited to run a miniature war game at the National Museum of the United States Army, and we dedicated the game to Uncle Richard, who drove a Stuart tank during World War II, and he was in the 1st Armored Division, and he drove a Stuart tank from North Africa all the way through the Battle of the Bulge. Speaking of the Battle of Bulge, here we are with our game. Now, we had a wonderful group of players. We had Griff with Kevin, and the Germans are setting up. And I'm just going to narrate as we watch this video. And there is the Nashorn. Oh my gosh, it's Goober the Traveling Bear wearing his U.S. Army War College shirt. And there he is. And just in fun, Goober travels everywhere to promote history. Now, this miniature war game was in 54 millimeter scale. You see Kevin talking to Griff. They were our allied players. And here we have some video of our 2 German players. And then we have Walt Leach as our assistant game master, GM with me. And the Americans are on the right side of your screen. The Germans are on the left. They're coming out of the Ardennes forest. There is the Nashorn that was built for me by the 93-year-old gentleman up in Broome County, New York, and it got taken out in the first turn. Sadly, it did not survive long, but the game went on, and I'm going to narrate as we go along. We played for several hours, and you'll see that there are other war games being played. So Griff there rolled terrible. It was amazing how poorly he did roll as the allied player along with Kevin. And here are 2 German players, and all 3 of them were well versed in bolt action, and they were just a delight to have. Now they're coming out of the woods, and we had to roll for different armor to appear. And they did roll better to get different pieces of armor. And there's the National Museum United States Army signage. And I do a sweep here of all the different war games that's going on. We have the famous wargamer Peter doing Vietnam. And we have some veterans playing. And that gentleman there on the right. And oh, there's me. The gentleman on the right in the past clip. He's a Korean War veteran and just a phenomenal veteran to speak with about his experiences. Now, our German players are looking over where to attack, and Griff and Kevin are very concerned because a Tiger tank has appeared. That's right, a Tiger tank, a Tiger 2, and a Stug. Some people call him a Stug. Now, what's funny is the German half-tracks kept pushing through. As you see, the Nashorn got pushed over by the Tiger, and we have a half-track on fire, another half-track on fire. Half-tracks do not hold up well against bazookas, and the Allies did have a couple bazookas. Now, here's a long view of the table, and here we have another view from the other side with the King Tiger coming out of the mist. Autumn mist, as the operation would be called by some. Now, my buildings here, you'll see we had 5 American squads, and now we got Peter at his Vietnam game with the Korean War veteran. Fantastic war gamer. There he is. He was just a delight to speak to about military history. And now we're swinging back over to Battle of the Bulge. And Uncle Richard's Stuart tank, which had extra movement, already got blown up. It's gone. So the Tiger tank is at the crossroads, and it's a tough time. They had a bazooka fire at the front of the Tiger tank, and it turns out in the rules they needed to roll a 12 boxcars to even knock off a track at the front. The Stug has moved forward, and the Germans are pushing hard. They've gotten out of the woods, and reinforcements are starting to show up now. And we've gone to some video action, And there's this one lone Jeep, and Walt there, he was our assistant helper GM. Just a delight to have him. So we have a Tiger 1 that appears on the left side of the table, you'll see there. And our Americans are starting to get desperate. They are running out of armor. Kevin and Griff got a Sherman and a tank destroyer of the 763rd Black Panthers tank destroyer. There's Kevin waving there. I'm doing another sweep. We have a lot of great GMs here. This game day event went fantastic. Here's a World War I table. There is Mark Fassisso's World War I table of Mark's Game Room, famous YouTube person. There's Walt O'Hare. He's a very nice gentleman and a great wargamer. Very nice person. It's very enjoyable to wargame with him. And I brought him some Sherman tanks, but mine were in 54 millimeter scale, and he needed 20 millimeter. So a little issue there. And here we have Goober. We stopped for lunch, and we resumed at 1 o'clock. So that pin, by the way, is a licensed battlefield guide pin. Goober has received 3 of those now. And here we have a quick view of the National Museum, United States Army building room we're in. And now we're starting after lunch, and the Allies are being pressed hard. The Tiger 1. Now, you see that Jeep there. That Jeep was zipping around with a 30 caliber machine gun, and it caused the Germans a lot of headache with their infantry. They actually used a Tiger Tanks 88 to finally blow the darn thing up. Now, the Sherman tank here, you see on your right, is coming around the corner. And unfortunately, they missed the fact that the Germans had placed their Tiger 1 on ambush, and the Sherman got popped. It got blown up coming right on the table. Sort of depressing for the Americans. They didn't realize the German player had placed an ambush die on their Tiger tank. So there's our American Jeep. It's in a few moments you're going to see that thing get blown up also. Now our Tiger tank had its tracks blown off by the Sherman. And, of course, our tank destroyer is wiped out. Oh, this is a little snippet here of a tribute area for our Japanese Americans. That is Senator Inouye's hand that they had there. And our Medal of Honor recipients of our Japanese American veterans who served in World War II. Now we're back at our game. You'll see our Sherman now got blown up by that Tiger tank. Now, the Germans' objective is to try to get some troops' armor off the table. And this is the outskirts of Bastogne. And what's happening now, we had a roll for a bog test, and the half-track and Tiger 1 have poured through the wall. The stone wall has been breached, and they're heading off the table and flanking the Americans. So it's looking like a German victory. The buildings are falling. All the American armor is on fire but one Sherman tank, and they're getting ready to skedaddle. Now, what's really interesting is here's our 2 awesome German players with their Stug and their Tiger 2. I'm hoping they subscribe to the channels and enjoy watching my YouTube videos. They never wargamed in 54 millimeter scale. There we have Griff and Kevin. And they're both happy. They had a great game, even though they did lose. And the Germans were victorious. So, wonderful time at this event. And there's Walt. Walt was a great help. He helped pick the dice for our units to activate. And I guess that's going to be about it for right now. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Hi, I'm Kathleen Lugerich with the Army Historical Foundation, and today was our first Army Game Day, where we had a bunch of game masters and game players play historic Army-based games on board games with small miniature figures. So hopefully everyone will come back next year. Everyone had a lot of fun, and we had a great time using the museum and Veterans Hall.
Stay safe, be kind, and be courteous, everyone.